Hello again, and welcome back to this exciting series of tips and tricks for your key fob modeling. Today's episode is going to be all about the top surface of this key fob. Let me show you. This is a final model, and the surface you see right here is the top surface, and we are going to make that an oversized surface as well. So let's have a look and see what we got to begin with. We got three surfaces. They're all intersecting one another. And remember, we can also turn on the fictional symmetry by right-clicking on the layer and click symmetry. We get these dashed images of the symmetric part of the model. Let's also have a quick look at the canvas plane, and we can see here that we've pretty much managed to cover the outline of our key fob like this. But we are going to make the top surface now, so I'm going to turn off the canvas plane. We can keep the symmetry on, and it makes it a little easier to see what we got. I'm going to start by making a plane using surfaces, primitives, and plane, and type in 0, space 0, space 0. That places a plane in Origo. We're going to use non-proportional scale to make sure our plane actually covers the other surfaces. So middle button for that, and left mouse button to make sure we are covering it. Something like that. And if we then turn on the CV points for this surface, we can see that this is a 3 by 3 surface. We got 4 CV points in this direction and 4 in that direction. We can see that in the control panel as well. I like to keep the degree of surfaces and curves as low as possible. So we are going to set the U direction to only 3 CV points. Don't forget to hit accept like that. Next thing we want to do, we bring some color to this, is that we want to move this surface upwards as far as we can to begin with. So I go pick surface and then move, and using my right mouse button, I can move the surface up so it barely intersects the others. Something like that. We are now ready to start shaping this to the form that we want. Our canvas image or canvas plane is not much help, but I happen to have the physical key in my hand, so I know that we need to shape this surface slightly crowned in this direction and also crowned in that direction. So I'm going to make this kind of sloping down towards the top like that, and also give it a crown in this direction like so by manipulating the CV points. So I go pick nothing, and then I could use pick CVs and pick all of these individually, but I can also use pick hull. And a hull is a row of CVs. So if I pick the line between those two CVs, I actually pick all of these CV points. And if I then go move, we should have that, and use my right mouse button to move those slightly upwards, and then pick the other whole row of CVs right here. and move those. Oh, sorry, I forgot something very important. Before we start messing with these CV points, we want to make sure this surface is symmetric over the symmetry plane. So let's do that. We right click on the default layer, click symmetry plane, uh, set symmetry plane. And as we can see, that symmetry plane has already been set to the desired one. We could choose another one, but we want that plane and set plane. And then we go pick surface, object edit, and symmetric modeling, like so. This works the exact same way as using symmetric modeling for curves. So if I, for instance, pick this CV right here and move it, the other side will follow, making sure this surface is always perfectly symmetric over our symmetry plane. Control Z on that one, like so. And now I can start manipulating this row of CV points by using pick hull, click on the line between the two CV points, and then go move. Put some color onto it and start bringing these CV points down. Something like that. Tiny little browning of this surface. We could probably afford to bring that row up slightly. Something like that. It doesn't take much, but I want that little browning of the surface. And after that, we can start bringing, thinning out the top of our key fob. So I go back to pick nothing, pick hull, pick that hull, and move, and bringing it down with my right mouse button. Again, we need some color to see what is actually happening. So we bring that one down a little bit, this one down slightly, something like that. And we can see that we get a slope as this surface is thickening, something like that. Uh, all right, if we're happy with that surface, we're just going to trim it up with a symmetry plane and place it in our surf layer. So let's do that. I'm going to create another plane, surfaces, primitives, plane, 0, 0, 0, like so, but we also need to rotate this plane 0, 90, 0 in order for it to be identical to our symmetry plane. We scale that up so it clearly intersects our top surface. And we go intersect and click on the top surface. There we have a curve on surface, and we can now get rid of that plane we just created. So we pick that surface and go delete. Now we can trim this surface right here. So let's do that. Click on the surface, click on the area we want to keep, and spacebar, like so. Now you may notice that even though this surface has been trimmed, we still see the CV points for the entire surface. And that's because the information about the surface is being kept, but the limitation of the surface is done by our trim operations with curves on surface. We can turn the CV points off like so. And now we can place the surface in our surf layer, and we get that image of the mirrored part. And that concludes this episode. Thanks for watching.